What up, world? Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Command, a DND football podcast. As always, you got your man, Darian D.H. Williams, aka DH on the mic on X. Make sure you follow. And of course, if you're following that, and if you're here watching this, you already know to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Breaking Command on YouTube. So make sure you do that. Like, subscribe, share with a friend. And if you feel so inclined to leave us a 5-star review, you can get your 5 seconds of fame. That's it. That's all. I'm solo tonight, but I will have partner D Mitty popping in and out to check out our guest that we have tonight. Now, listen, when a big time cornerback gets traded to your Washington Commanders, I had to hit the Rolodex and I had to say, who could I talk to talk about cornerback play in the National Football League? I said, why don't I call on the 11-year veteran, the Super Bowl champion, the 2014 College Football Hall of Famer, the 3-time first-team All-ACC, the 2-time consensus All-American, the 2-time Pro Bowler, a member of the St. Louis 10th anniversary team, the ACC Rookie of the Year, and the current defensive analyst for the UNC Charlotte 49ers. I said, why don't I call on Dre Bly? So we have Dre Bly in the building tonight to talk about the acquisition of Marshon Lattimore to the Washington Commanders and how that will affect the team down the stretch. Dre Bly, what's up, bro?
What's going on, cousin? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Welcome to the show, man. I said I needed a corner to talk about this cornerback play, and I said, let me call one of the best. So I appreciate you coming on the show, brother.
Well, because we family, I let you interrupt my family time here with your cousins and your little cousins, and so you got me here. So yeah, I'm here, man. Let's go.
I appreciate it, man.
Much
D Mitty, I know.
appreciated, man.
Yeah, D Mitty, go ahead, bro.
Look, man, as somebody who grew up in North Carolina, whose dad is a diehard Rams fan, bro, like this is one of the best. Given that not only that we signed Marshon Lattimore, that we can talk about this defense with somebody who is a defensive specialist. Who else to bring on other than you, Dre? I appreciate you, brother.
Nah, no doubt, man. What part of North Carolina your father's from?
Well, we're from New
Well,
Bern,
you
North Carolina.
oh, you from New Bern? Okay, so one of my good friends, Brian Simmons, one of my best friends, who was my
Yes,
teammate at the University of
sir.
North Carolina. He's from New Bern, and I played with a
Hmm.
couple of guys. New Bern produced a lot of good athletes. I don't know if you know this. Josh Downs' father, Gary
Mary,
Downs,
yeah.
he has a lot of family. He was raised. His dad is from New Bern, or
Yep.
they lived there, and then they moved to
Yep.
Ohio because he was in the military. But New Bern has produced a
Yep.
lot of good football players. So yeah,
Yep.
now that's pretty cool.
Shout out to the
That,
young Tar Heels. Josh Downs making his ways right now with the Indianapolis Colts in his second season, man. Balling out. You know I got the Tar Heels in the background. We always representing. But we ain't here to talk about Tar Heels. I'm talking with a Tar Heel, but we here to talk about Marshon Lattimore getting traded from the New Orleans Saints to the Washington Commanders today. Overall, Dre, tell us about Marshon Lattimore, man. What does he do well? What type of abilities will he bring to this Washington Commanders defense that we've been lacking all season? What can Marshon Lattimore do for the Commanders, man?
But Sean has been one of the premier corners in the game the last 5 years. Me being a coach now, I had a chance to do a minority internship with the New Orleans Saints back in 2000. It might have been his rookie year, I think, which was 16 or 17. So I had a chance to spend a whole preseason with him, follow him ever since then, and I mean he's legit, man. Um, to be able to have a shutdown guy, a guy that can match up week in and week out with the opposition's top guy for a defensive coordinator, I mean, it does miracles for him, man. That's been one things that I guess all coordinators, all defensive coaches, they look for a guy like that. And with the one guy you drafted last year, fighting injuries, and he can mentor him. And but I think the addition of Sean Lattimore was a great addition. I know he's been banged up, but as soon as he get healthy, man, he'll be able to match up with you guys. You guys are 7-2, right, and play tremendous defense. And so to add a guy of his caliber, a guy that has been a perennial Pro Bowl player in this league, to your defense, it was a huge acquisition for you guys.
That's something that the defense has been lacking all year. We've got pressure with the defensive line. We've had great linebacker play with Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu. Cornerback was an issue that we've had this year, and like you said, drafting Emmanuel Forbes last year hasn't turned out like
Forbes,
we
yeah.
wanted to. But cornerback has been a question of concern, and my partner in crime, D. Mitty, is one of the only Benjamin St. Juice fans who is currently the number one corner on our squad. But I'm sure the addition of Marshon Lattimore will help him out. D-Mitty, go ahead. What you have for Dre?
Yeah, and I'm glad you leaned. I'm glad you threw that alley because I feel like not only does Marshawn help BSJ, he helps Forbes as well. And my question to you, Dre, do you feel like Dre has certain, uh, I guess, nuances of the game that he can pass on to a guy like BSJ, who's kind of like a veteran almost? He's in what, his third, fourth year. Do you think that is certain tips that Marshawn has that he should pass along to BSJ?
But just just being a pro. I was talking with a former coach or a coach today about like the biggest thing we can ask a player in the league is to be a pro. Everybody's not going to be all pro. Everybody's not going to be Pro Bowler, but just to be a pro, be a solid starter. And so Sean has been that in the NFL for a long time. People don't understand how hard it is to. I mean, it takes time. Everybody process is different. I hope you guys give Emmanuel Ford some time, but actually, it took me a couple of years, Darian, until I felt like I was in my zone and I was ready to start.
Dre, Marshawn Lattimore was traded to the Commanders today. How do you think he will help Emmanuel Forbes in his second year with now him being in the room with the young cornerback class?
I mean, well, Marshawn Lattimore has been a premier corner in this league for the last 6 years. Pro Bowl caliber guy, perennial Pro Bowl guy. One of the, probably one of the top two or three guys in the game, and so um, just bringing him to Washington, they have been playing good defense. But I think it'd be tremendous for you guys. It allowed the DC Joe Witt, Coach Quinn to be able to play some coverage. I know they're aggressive, but when you got a premier guy, lockdown guy, it's just as a defensive coordinator, allow you to be able to do some other things and be able to do uh, to try some things, but also you can match him up and he can eliminate one guy. So I think it was valuable for you guys to be able to make that move.
So I know you had the opportunity with you being in Detroit for the last 2 seasons. You had the opportunity to, I guess, interview Emmanuel Forbes, right? With a pre-draft, maybe in a pre-draft situation. What was your vibe around him, man, coming out? Because I know it was kind of surprised with him being drafted where he was by us. But what are some of the things that you liked about his game that you think may translate now that we have somebody else that can lock down and do what he couldn't do, essentially?
Well, the one thing that stood out with him and the reason why he went so high was because of his ability to make plays, right? I mean, he's just a phenomenal playmaker, has tremendous ball skills, and so that's why he went so high. And again, you guys drafted him, and when you take a guy as high as you do, they expect instant results, right? And what people don't understand is a process, right? I don't want to throw this player away so soon because it's a process, right? You got to get stronger, but I didn't come into my own until like my second, third year, and I was a second round pick,
Yeah.
right? I made some tremendous plays my first year, but I was playing probably 50% of the snaps came in as a nickel back. And as I grew and learned more, my snaps increased, and therefore you got better performance. Emmanuel Forbes started from day one, and that's
Yeah.
hard, right? And very few guys can start day one and be very effective. And so just because he didn't know me, he's not good. And so I think with bringing in Sean Lattimore, it allowed a player to grow. He can learn how to be a pro. He can learn how to prepare. He can pick his mind on what he did to become the player that he was. So I think it's good, man. I think it's all good for Washington. You guys have played tremendous ball. You drafted a quarterback. He's managing the game. I mean, this is what we grew up, expecting, or
Yeah.
this is what we used to see. Washington Commanders being being a elite football team, right?
Yeah.
And being one of the best teams in the league. So it's fun to see. I can't wait to see what Sean does in Washington, and I know you guys will be very excited about the production that he brings to the field.
Yeah. Now with we're playing cornerback, man. Like I said, we have the 11-year veteran Dre Bly, played Super Bowl champion, college football Hall of Famers, who knows how to play the game. Tell us about about cornerback, man. People like cornerbacks, that's a hard job to do in the NFL, bro. Like you're out
It
on the
is.
island, you know what I'm saying? You're expected to make plays, you're expected to shut down the top wide receivers in the game. And I don't think sometimes I don't think cornerbacks get enough credit or enough grace. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a tough job. So I think Marshon Lattimore coming to the Commanders, giving Forbes a break, and then, like you said earlier, allow us to kind of play some different type of football, allow us to be a little more aggressive, allow Joe Witt and Dan Quinn to kind of really draw up some things, and really play some ball. Tell the people, man, how hard it is to play cornerback, bro. Like people don't get it, bro.
Nah, it's just tough, man. People don't understand like to mimic to kind of shadow the receiver, not knowing or having an idea of what he's doing when he has a complete route tree. Different routes he can run, and I mean it's tough. So I tell DBs all the time, man. It's a process. They gonna make plays, right? And you can't get so down or super high or low when they do, right? Just be even kill and just understand, like, just try to break the game down. Take away something. And that's the thing I did as a corner, right? I try to take away something, based on the call, based on the defense. I was going to take away something, right? And then utilize my help to my advantage. And that's what people don't understand. Like, you got to utilize the people around you. If you don't have pass rush, it's hard to be effective. And vice versa. If you don't have coverage, it's sometimes it's hard to pressure the quarterback, right? So it goes hand in hand. But it's a tough position, man. And like I try to tell guys all the time, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And at the end of the day, if you can be victorious, if you can win the game, that means you done done your job, right? Because that means you done found a way to keep those guys out of the end zone when it mattered. And so, me playing with the guys that I played with, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Marshall Falk, Kurt Warner, um, the greatest show on turf. It was hard to keep those guys out of the end zone, right? That doesn't mean we're bad players. That doesn't mean we're not worthy of being a Pro Bowl caliber guy. I played with some of the best of the best. Champ Bailey and I played together in Denver. Champ got beat, right? Some of the
Everybody
best, everybody gets beat, right? But what they remember, if you can find a way to make plays, right? If you can find a way to make the play when it matters, then people give you grace. But you're going to get beat, and it's how you respond, how you bounce back is what matters.
Yeah, no, and you mentioned that, man. It's the plays, and I think that's the one thing we've lacked at the cornerback position this year is that we haven't been making enough plays, get enough interceptions. We didn't get our first interception until the Baltimore game, right?
Right,
So being able to get those picks, and that's the one thing that the fans and media was like, we should be able to get some interceptions. I mean, Dan Quinn turned Deron Bland into a Pro Bowl player, getting all those pick sixes last year, turned him into a top tier cornerback. So I think, man, with being able to have Marshon Lattimore here, you'll be able to add a guy in the building that knows how to play football and can, get on the winning bus, man. 7-2, 7-2
right.
football, bro. Like
But
it's
you
a big
said the
deal.
most important thing, D. He's played winning football,
Yeah.
right? I'm not saying Sean gonna come in and make 4 or 5 picks, but he's a winner, right? He's been a
Yeah.
premier corner in this league. He's a Pro Bowl caliber guy, and so he'll bring instant credibility to that side of the ball and to the defensive back room where he might can pull, Emmanuel Forbes along. You got some other pieces, Quan Martin. He's a up and coming young player who has tremendous ability as well. And so you bring in a guy with instant credibility that can improve that room and show those guys how to be a pro. So that's to me, that's the most important thing, right? If guys end up in the right spot and guys playing the right system, the right scheme, and doing what they're supposed to do, the ball will find you.
Absolutely. And Dre, I'd be remiss if I don't mention uh your Lions, man, playing some ridiculous football right now, bro. playing some
Nah,
ridiculous football, man.
nah, it's pretty cool to see, man. Aaron Glenn. I was there last year as a defensive backs coach, and what those guys are doing, they're playing coverage, they're blitzing, they're being aggressive. To see Ben Johnson on the other side of the ball, dialing up, looking like Mike Marks, in there dialing up nice plays and trick plays, and it's pretty cool to see those guys play. Last year what we experienced, going to the NFC Championship game, it was pretty cool to see the excitement that the city had, and to even see it today, man. Detroit is a team that these guys will have to come see, man, and it's not gonna be pretty. So it's pretty cool to see.
And like a city like Detroit, right? Like, of course, we had winning back in the day, but we haven't had that in a while. So you see a city, how the city responded to the Lions for playing so well, and how they just latched back on. That's what's happening here, man. With the acquisition of Jaden Daniels, with the
Yeah,
way we played this year, the team is kind of
yeah,
latched back on to the
yeah,
guys. And I think the addition of Marshon Lattimore can only help
yeah.
that cause, man, as we try to get to the playoffs.
Now you said that Detroit probably have some of the most committed fans and rowdiest fans in all of football. But I mean, Darren, growing up, man, it was the Cowboys, it was the Redskins, it was the Steelers,
Yeah.
and the 49ers, right? I mean, those are the teams that everybody followed. At least with me being from Virginia, the Redskins, they all over Virginia, man. And like you say, you guys got the Commanders have great tradition. Um, and then with the addition of the guys that they brought in and Coach Quinn coming in, man, there's some excitement in Washington, and Sean Lattimore is another piece to the equation. So it's a joy right now. It's like football you must see right now, and I love watching those guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Dre, man, I'm not gonna hold you too much longer, man. Before we get you out of here, tell everybody where they can find you. I know they can find you on the sidelines on Saturday at UNC Charlotte 49ers, but tell everybody where they can find you, what you got going on, and what's coming down the pipeline for you, brother.
Well, I was coaching at Chapel Hill for 4 years. I recruited, Josh Downs is my nephew. Recruited Sam Howell, Drake May. Recruited some phenomenal players at the University of North Carolina. Last year, I was in Detroit as the corners coach, and so opportunity presented itself for me to come back home to Charlotte, to mentor my son, who's in coaching as well. Staying at home, having a chance to catch up with my family. And so I'm here, man. With me, man, it's all about mentoring kids, coaching, giving back. And so wherever that leads me, I'm excited to see what's next for myself. But I'm taking it day by day, and just see what happens.
That's awesome, Dre. Well, look, man, I appreciate you, man. Of course, we're family outside of this show. So I know you'll be back. You know what I'm saying? And wherever this show leads you, of course, bring all the guests back and they can come and check the show out. And we appreciate you, Blizz. But hey, Dre, man, we appreciate you being on the show, man. This has been another episode of Breaking Command, a DND football podcast. And let's get these commanders to 8-2. Peace.